under a tree outside the cemetery. There is a lonely grave and it says, Vayit man yossele, Kamsen Kodesh. Here lies Yossele, the holy miser. You hear, children? What a gravestone. Here lies Yossele, the holy miser. It was 1550. We were so persecuted, we were so poor. We lived in a ghetto in Krakow. But there was one rich Jew, and his name was Yossele. But he was the greatest miser in the world. His whole life, he never gave one penny to one Jew. And you know something? He must have a heart of stone. You know, my beautiful friends, a miser is not part of the world, because the world is created by God. If you're not giving, you're not part of society. Who would say good Shabbos to him? Who would bless him as a good year? When Yossele walks the streets, people threw stones at him and called him, hey, dirty miser. One day the burial society was told Yossele is dying. They rushed to his bedside and they said, Yossele, you never gave a single penny to the poor. It's your last chance. Give us 1,000 rubles. That will be the money for your grave, and we will give it to the poor. But Yossele obviously has a heart of stone. He says, I cannot afford more than 50 rubles. They got so angry at him and they said, Yossele, you can't take the money with you anyway. But he says, no, I'm not giving more than 50. They said, okay, Yossele, we are not going to bury you. He just smiled and he says, I'll bury myself. I did a lot of things by myself. They said, if you don't give 1,000 rubles, we will not bury you. They got up to walk out. At that moment was his end. He said, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. God is one. But it was so ugly because they thought, I guess he's thinking about the money he saved. They walked out and they kept their word. Yossele died Sunday night. They didn't bury him on Monday. They didn't bury him on Tuesday. They didn't bury him Wednesday all day. Wednesday night, one of his neighbors decided we can't let him lie there. He has a wife and children. After midnight, not to be noticed, single-handedly threw Yossele on a wagon, drove out to the cemetery, buried him outside the cemetery under a tree. So you think that's the end of the story? Open your hearts, friends. Yossele, 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 join me. Yossele, Yossele. At the time of Yossele, the chief rabbi of Krakow was one of the great Kabbalists, one of the holy of holiest, and his name was Reb Kalman. Late Thursday night, a poor man knocked on his door and he said, Reb Kalman, give me some money to buy food for the holy Shabbos, Lekovet Shabbos. Reb Kalman says, I'll be so happy to give you some money, but why today? I know you for so long. You never asked me. And he says, Reb Kalman, I want you to know For 20 years I don't have a job, can't make a living. But every Thursday morning, under my broken door, under my broken heart, my broken life, there is an envelope. It's 5 rubles. And on the envelope it says, Lekuvit Shabbos, in honor of Shabbos. But not today, but not today. 2 minutes later, there was another knock on the door. The poor man says, Rebbe, give me money for Shabbos. Where were you last week? For the last 10 years, every Thursday morning under my broken door, there's an envelope. It's 2 rubles. That night all the poor people came, and everybody told of that envelope. And one envelope was 5 rubles. Another envelope was 2 rubles. The envelope was 10 rubles. Lekuvit Shabbos. Join me, all of you, with all your hearts. Yossele, Yossele. Gewalt was sie holy. Yossele, 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 the holy miser. Kalman was so broken. Kalman was so broken. We didn't even bury him. But above all, he says to the poor people, I don't understand. How did he know you so well? The one who gave 2 rubles, the one who gave 5, the one who gave 2. So this is what they told him. Every poor man once in his life thought, maybe I'll get through to yossele. So every one of the poor people, at one time in their life, they knocked on the door of yossele. And yossele, the holy miser, opened the door with so much love, so much sweetness. They opened their hearts, and yossele said, please sit down and tell me everything. We'll take a pencil and a paper and write down, what's your name, and sweetest Yid, what's your name? He would say, my name is Avremele. What do you do, Avremele? I'm a water carrier. What street do you live on? But write it down. How many children do you have? I have 10 children. Oh, Avremele, my heart is bleeding for you. You must be starving. How much do you need a week to live? And Avremele would say, yossele, if you only have a heart, please give me 5 rubles every week to keep my children alive. Yossele would bring in some wine and some cake, talk about everything in the world. And suddenly, like he got crazy. Yossele was a strong person and picked up Avremele and threw him down the steps, and he says, don't you ever dare coming back. You really think I'm crazy? You think I, yossele, will give you my precious money? Get away from here! Avremele would go home and tell his wife he is crazy. But Thursday morning, there was an envelope under Avremele the water carrier's door. his children alive. Lekovat Shabbos, Lekovat Shabbos. Reb Kalman was beside himself. Reb Kalman was crying. He says to the poor people, Reb Yossele supported all of us. He kept all of you poor people alive. We didn't bury him. And your children, whom he kept alive, would throw stones at him wherever he walks. Kalman announced on Shabbos this Sunday will be a fast day. Everyone has to be here to ask Yossele for forgiveness. The whole community came. All day Sunday they were crying, Yossele, Holy Miser, Yossele, forgive me. Yossele, bless me. Just about sunset. And Reb Kalman says to the people, I have a feeling we didn't reach him yet. Reb Kalman opened the Holy Ark and he yelled and he cried from the deepest depths of his heart. And he says, Yossele, 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 Holy Miser, please give me a sign that you forgive us. Reb Kalman fell to the floor, and people thought, God forbid, he had a heart attack, but he was just asleep. And in his dream, he saw Yossele, but not the way he is here, but the way he's shining up there in heaven. And Yossele says, Reb Kalman, please tell all my brothers and sisters to go home. There's no need to ask me for forgiveness. I wanted it this way. They wanted to have the privilege to give us out anybody knowing, only the one who knows everything. I wanted him to know. Please tell the poor people I thank everyone who ever came to my house to visit me. Thank you so much for pouring out your heart to me. And please tell them I'm here in paradise. I'm sitting next to Father Abraham, next to our Holy Mother Sarah. I have everything, but there's one thing I need. There's one thing I'm missing. I would give up all of paradise for just one more Thursday morning. There are no poor people in heaven. There are no broken doors in heaven. There are not envelopes Lekovat Shabbos. Tell the poor people I miss them. Carmen says, Yossele, how did it feel to be buried all by yourself? Haha, Yossele smiled. Reb Kalman, believe me, I was not alone. Avram Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, the four holy mothers, Moshe, and Yosef, David, they were all there. King David walked behind me playing a song. Eliyahu Novi, Eliyahu Tishbi, Eliyahu Giladi held a candle in front of me.